this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have this rather lovely wedding card to show you. I made it for a blog hop where our theme was lifetime celebrations, and I used the lovely dies from the gingerbread dies. So I've got, here are the two dies. You get an outline and you get this rather intricate bell with lots of detail on it. They're meant to represent cookies with icing on, I think. That's the whole point of them. They're a Christmas set, so the Christmas bells, obviously. But there are other shapes in the set as well. So we've got this one, which is a bauble, which I love. An ornament, I think you call it in the States. We might call it an ornament or a Christmas decoration in the UK. And then you also get a snowflake and I think a tree as well. And they're really beautiful. But as soon as I saw the set, I knew that that bell would be for other things other than Christmas. And I've now put it into fruition by making this rather lovely wedding card. When I go to make wedding cards, I always go for silver and white. And of course, they don't have to be silver and white, but that's what just emulates weddings to me. But of course you could do this. If say the bride is going to be carrying pink flowers, how about doing this intricate bit in pink and this bit in pink? How lovely would that? Maybe some pink ribbon to tie in with the colour of the wedding. You could do whatever colour. I think that would be really great. So I might do a sample at some stage, but meanwhile let's crack on. So we're starting with a normal card blank, which is 15 by 21, and we're going to score it at 10.5. No problems there, like so. And then we're going to crease it at that score line and burnish it with our bone folder. One of my essential kit is the bone folder. And if your card doesn't quite meet, I don't know if you can see there how easily you can see it doesn't quite meet. What I do is go back, and I like to have them very precise. So I just go back and just slice off a tiny bit just to get those ends. Sometimes they meet and sometimes they don't. I've no idea whether I just don't do it accurately enough, whether the card might be slightly different size. I've no idea, but anyway, you can just even it up like that, and then you've got a perfect card blank with all the edges meeting. Right, okay, so we need our bells first of all. So in the one that I showed you, I've used white for the background and I've done the intricate bit in silver. This time I'm going to change it round. I'm still using white and silver, but I'm going to do silver for the outline, and I've die cut this intricate bit in white just to see what that looks like. You do need to be a bit careful though, because the glue that you got on here, if you smudge it on the silver, it's going to show more than it would have done on the white, so you just need to be a little bit careful. So tiny little bit of Tombow on here, not going to need very much, so little bits of Tombow all over. So I'm hardly squeezing the tube at all, and I don't even know if you can see that there's little bits of Tombow coming out here. And then I will take my reliable cocktail stick and just smooth that out, so I'm not going to get loads of glue squeezing by and spoiling the silver foil. Oh, the silver foil, by the way, is from the speciality pack. It's in the mini catalogue, silver foil speciality pack. There's 3 different types of foil in there. This silver is very much like the silver foil that we used to sell just on its own, and the other 2, oh, you can see I've cut this out of card that I've already stamped on, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it. Yeah, the other 2 are kind of, they are silver, but they're kind of a weird, they're more grey. They are metallic. I don't know how to describe them. They've got some lovely texture on them, but they're quite dark. They're not as light as this silver. I didn't think they'd be as appropriate for this card, but I can see lots of uses for them for Christmas cards and things, Christmas projects. I think they'll be lovely, but not for this project. Right, so there we are. We've glued them on top. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. Love them. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to think just about where I want my bells to go, and I'm going to measure and mark halfway across my card here. So it's 10.5 centimetres, so I'm going to mark it at 9.25, and that's just because I want my bells to be absolutely central. Right, I'm going to take some dimensionals. I can't think of my words today. What is the matter with me? Take some dimensionals got the proper ones here, not the minis. I've got the full-size ones. I'll put one at the top there. Oh, that's got no backing on it already. There's the backing of that one gone. One there and one there. And then I'm going to take the backings off. And we're going to position that. So this, the bit where the bell hangs, is going to go over our dot. Like so. Now this one is going to go here. So I don't need a dimensional there because it's going to go over top of the other one. So I don't need to put a dimensional there. I just need dimensionals. 2 at the bottom here. And just in case, so let's have a look. So it just needs to go, I'll put one quite near the bottom just to give that a bit of support. But you don't need to put anything at the top because it's going to rest on where the other one is. Like so. There we go. So our bell's in the centre of our card. Now, we'll finish doing all the sticking and then we'll do the embellishments. Right, we've got here, this is another die that comes in the set, and it is a beautiful, beautiful border. It's really lovely. It's so pretty. I've still got this one in the die, so let's just push that out. You can see it's got lots of little bits. I'll use my brush later to get those bits out. But this border is so pretty. There's a few bits. You can see how easily they come out. It doesn't take much, but they haven't come out. That's probably because the die already had some little bits stuck in it when I put it through, because I didn't clean it before I put it through. Really, really pretty. And I just thought it just added a little bit to this card, just to have that white on white border there, like that. So I'm going to trim this down to the length we need, just over the length we need, so it overlaps a little bit. And then I'm going to do some Tombow again. Don't need much. It's very, very light touch here. Don't need loads of glue. Always err on the side of less glue rather than more, because big gluey mess can really spoil your projects. So, and I learned that as a quiller. We're very, very hot. I'm a member of the UK Quilling Guild, and we're very, very hot on not having glue marks all over your work when we're judging quilling. So there we go. I just think it just doesn't look very professional, but I love that look of that border. I think it's gorgeous. I really love that border. And then we can just trim this off like so, and like so. There we go. Make sure that's straight. It's come apart a bit. So, because you're not using very much glue, you do just need to put a bit of pressure and make sure it is sticking properly. There we go. And then this one is going down towards the bottom, not right at the bottom. I wanted to even out the pattern a little bit. So maybe there. So that, yeah, and we're going to get congratulations in there. So maybe do that like that. So again, trim it off to just a bit longer than what you need. Such a useful die. This is going to be a die that stays in my forever collection, I can tell. Like so. And there we go. And that goes there. Like so. And then trim off. Like so. And just make sure it's straight before the glue sets. Let's just make sure you're happy with it. Right, what else? Okay, so you can see that I've done a lovely ribbon bow here. Don't know if you can catch that in the video. Let me just stand up so I can see what you're seeing. Can you see the glitter? Don't know if I can catch the light on that, but it's beautiful glittered organdy ribbon. And I'm going to try and tie a bow. Now you all know what happens when I try a bow on camera. I die them all day long when I'm sitting here. I'd go on camera and it goes wrong, but we'll give it a try. So two pieces together to make a loop, wrap round. This is how I do my bows. There are other ways. Put that through there and then pull. You should get, no, that's twisted, so I'm going to do that again. I don't want a twist in the loops of the bow, so let's do that again. There we go. That, yeah, it caught it. There we go. And now what we need to do is to make it the right size and tighten that knot in the middle. So you just need to keep fiddling with it. Oh, have I done that a bit too tight? And then as you do that, it loosens the knot again, so you need to tighten it again. And you just keep doing that until you've got the size of bow that you want. It does take a little while, and you'll know from my playing that it does take a little bit of practice to get a decent bow. But there we are, we're getting there, I think. Don't want it too big. Don't want it too small either. Might be a little bit too small now. Just pull it out a little bit. There we go. How's that going to work? Yeah, that's good. Just slightly take this one in a little bit. And then I think we're done. And then just trim off the ends. Like so, and that's going to go there. And how I secured it, I just used a couple of glue dots. So these are really, really useful. So it's a see-through ribbon, so you don't want to use anything too heavy-handed. So I just popped one in the centre there. One quite close to it. I just wanted to make sure it was really well anchored and wasn't going anywhere. And one here, and then that, and all of those glue dots are sticking to something that they've got a surface. If you put them under here, that's not really got anything to purchase against, so that goes there like that. What do you think? Looking good, huh? And then, oh, now the clappers for the bells, you can see here, I use these. Now these are matte and gloss epoxy dots that I can't remember what they were called, but we had them a couple of catalogues ago, and I'm still using mine, but they're not in the catalogue anymore, and I only realised that after I'd made my card. So I did have a quick look to see what else you could use if you wanted to, and I thought these would work. Silver and clear epoxy essentials. You get 180 epoxy shapes. You get raindrop, diamond and circle, and actually the raindrops might work because you could tuck the pointy bit underneath, so you could use the raindrop shapes there, or the circles as your clanger, or of course you could just use a normal rhinestone. You could use these. So there are several alternatives, but I'm still going to use these, and so I'm using the bigger ones. I think they're 5mm ones, these, and I just poked it underneath, trying to make sure it's in the right place. There, let's just pop that. Not the easiest thing to do. There we go. Just popped it under there a little bit. Get this one, if I can pick it up. There we go. And that needs to go there, like so. And that just gives you the effect of a bell, really. And then the last thing we need to do is the greeting. And I'm using this really lovely little congratulations from the Hand Penned Petals set. Got it mounted up on a clear block here. I've got a little scrap of Whisper of Basic White. How long is it since we've not had Whisper White, and I still keep calling it that? Right, okay, so I'm going to take my embossing buddy. I've said many times before, we don't have these anymore. I use mine all the time, so I'm sad that we don't stock them anymore. But you can get them on Amazon and probably in other craft shops. Just an embossing buddy to make sure you don't get any random specks of embossing powder. So I'm using my Versamark, doing it quite near the bottom of my piece of paper, my piece of cardstock. There we go. And then just bring in your silver embossing powder. And there we are. Give it a bit of a flick to get rid of any stray things. I don't think there are too many. And I'm using my newish heat gun, which is my new Stampin' Up heat gun, which is great, but it is a bit noisy, so excuse me while I heat emboss. And there we are, beautiful, 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 lovely silver glossy, excellent. And then all we need to do, pop that in our trimmer, cut it off, so just trim that down like so, perfect. And then the ends you can just do with scissors, unless you're really, really not sure you can, and then you could use your trimmer as well. But I'm quite happy to just trim those down. And a little bit of Tombow. How beautiful is that as a wedding card? I think anyone would be delighted to get something like this. And happy couple would be delighted. There we go. And that goes centrally and straight, hopefully. Doing it by eye here, slightly needs moving over, I think. There we go. There, absolutely beautiful. Well, I wonder if there's one of your preferences. They're very similar, but I wonder if there's one that you prefer. Very similar, just the other way round with the products there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing me make my project, and if you need a wedding card, I hope I've inspired you maybe to make something. Love seeing bells. I love hearing church bells on wedding days as well. We used to live just down the road from the church in Chertsey, and we used to hear the wedding bells going. Love hearing that. Not close enough now. I do hear them on a Sunday morning when they ring for the service when I go to church, but not for weddings anymore because we're not close enough. Anyway, that's it from me today. If you want to purchase anything, these gingerbread dies are going to be great for Christmas as well. Not just bells, trees, baubles, all sorts. Lovely. But that's it from me today. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you've had a good time, and I have a nice day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.